Kareem Hunt, our guy that we love so much. Guy we've been banging the table for the last couple of years to bring him back, and they brought him back finally this year. And Kareem Hunt's getting some ESPN is a big fan of Kareem Hunt all of a sudden. So Kareem Hunt was named one of the league's best short yardage backs, and they call him they were grading luxury positions in players, and they call Kareem Hunt one of the best luxuries in the league as one of the best short yardage backs. Short yardage situations are described as converting third or fourth down with 1 or 2 yards to go. He went 15 of 18 last year, 83.3% in those situations. 1 year after going 15 of 20 at 75% in the same spots for the Browns. So obviously we were huge fans of Kareem Hunt, the boost he gave us, and whenever he did get the ball, even if it was a 1 or 2 yard game, it always looked like it gave us some kind of energy and life in the backfield. But after stepping in midseason and quietly becoming one of the NFL's best short yardage backs, Kareem Hunt now enters 2025 in a crowded running back room, JD. Elijah Mitchell, Pacheco's healthy. Brashard Smith was also added to the room. I've seen some fans talk about Kareem Hunt being a potential cut candidate, which you and I don't think so. That's not anywhere because people are saying he's not getting paid enough, so they think he's a potential cut candidate, which I think is ridiculous.
Well, Linda Hunt is Tasia's favorite. LOL.
I know, yeah. Well, he's one of them who actually said he wouldn't be surprised if he got cut.
Yeah, he's like, really? I'm like, what? You're in a Kareem Hunt for what? Why? Yeah, no, I just. What y'all said, LLT, Deja could hush.
So, JD, with this running back room that we have, Elijah Mitchell, Pacheco, Brashard Smith, throw Carson Steele in there as well. What kind of role do you anticipate Kareem Hunt having this year? And I think it tells you a lot about Kareem Hunt because he did what he did coming off the couch. This year, if you look at some of his pictures from the mini camps and the OTAs, he looks like he's trimmed up a little bit. He's lost some weight and kind of tightened up, I would say. What kind of role do you anticipate Kareem Hunt having this year? And is it going to be kind of relegated to being the short down back consistently throughout the season, or is it going to kind of be a game-to-game kind of situation?
It could be game-to-game, but I do believe that he has curved out the role for sure as our short yardage back. And to be honest with you, seeing his numbers, what was he? What was the numbers again?
He was 15 of 18 in those situations last year.
15 of 18. If that's an indication that this guy right here could get first downs for you, that is it. That is it. That I mean, it tells a tale. And to be honest with you, when we watched how he had just the balance, we know who Kareem Hunt is. The balance that he has, being able to get the hard yards, fighting forward, falling forward, Kareem Hunt is that dude. So if he does carve it out, Marcus, what I do believe he has, hey, man, he is our third down back, and he deserved every bit of it, at least short yardage back, let me put it that way. But also, too, we know he's good, in the field. Anywhere else you want to be able to use it. He can do the same thing, catch the ball out the backfield. He'll be the first down back. He is like your bell cow if you wanted to. That's how we was using him last year. We were. And there was times I said this. There was times that we didn't look so good up front. Kareem Hunt made us look a lot better than what we were. That's a fact. And you can name all the ones across the board. Everybody was getting their butts handed to them in some games. Kareem Hunt was still going forward. He was still getting some tough yards. Those guys will tell you that too. So I don't have any question about Kareem Hunt and his ability. And I don't think the Chiefs do either. So he's.
It's so interesting how, I'm not going to call out anybody here, but I mean, the KCSN group, a lot of the podcasts there, they didn't think we needed to re-sign him. They didn't want to bring him back here. But it's so interesting how there's just two sects of the fan base, right? You have people who didn't want to bring him back at all, and then people who think he should be cut or he's a cut candidate, and then you have people on the other side who think he's better than Pacheco and should be the RB1. So it's just crazy how one guy can be either cut or the starting running back, and I think you can find somewhere in the gray area there, right? I think you and I kind of say hey, there's some games he may be the guy, some games he won't be. That's why you have an RB committee, and that's why a lot of teams have running back by committees in 2025 because a lot of guys have specialties in their own way. But I will say, Kareem Hunt last year when Pacheco came back from his injury, and we talk about guys coming back early from their injury, he didn't really have that juice. And Hunt did have that juice in that Buffalo Bills playoff game when he towed the rock. It was like, okay, we finally have some punch in the ground game. And on top of that, when we go out and talk about the short yardage situations, that's been a kind of an Achilles heel for us for the last few years, not being able to get those 3rd and 1s or 4th and 1s. Having to have Blake Bell do QB sneaks because we can't do QB sneaks, and we didn't have anybody to be a running back to get us those hard yards. And we got Kareem Hunt back, and it was like, wow, we kind of opened up this whole new world that we can actually get these 3rd and 1 and 4th and 1s again.
Yeah, I don't know. We love the guys over at KCSN. We do. Been on the show, talked to those dudes, man. So I don't know who said this or why. Did they give a reason why they wanted to get rid of Kareem Hunt? Was there a reason?
I mean, I just remember people kind of pointing it out when we did re-sign it. A lot of people were like, oh, you see this? Check this out. We love the guys at KCSN. I wasn't calling them out. I'm just saying there was a big contingency of the KCSN guys who didn't think Kareem Hunt should be coming back to the team because we have Pacheco, we have, and a lot of people want us to draft early round running backs. I know Kissel, BJ Kissel's one of the ones who we talked about not bringing back Kareem Hunt.
Really?
Yeah, he was one. He was one of the ones. I don't remember the other ones, but I know BJ's a big voice over there. Not a call out, just everyone's got their own opinion on things.
Look, everybody has their opinions about whatever, right?
Yeah, we're big Kareem Hunt fans. On the other, some people aren't. We are big fans.
Well, I will say this. If you're sitting there saying before the season started, before the draft, you were looking to probably get you a bell cow, trying to get somebody in here. And I'm sure they were probably saying the same thing about Pacheco. Like, do we want him to be the number one, from his injuries and what he's been hurt in the past? So people have those opinions about whoever, right? We have an affinity for Kareem Hunt. We love Kareem Hunt over here. We know what he brings to the table. He's a tough back. He runs hard. He runs behind his pads. We know he gets 2 or 3 yards when we need it, and the proof is in the pudding. So, and it's just a difference of opinion, I'm sure. But like I said, I wouldn't see why you would get rid of a Kareem Hunt with the running backs that we have on this team. That's not saying anything about the running backs that we have. It's just talking about the talent that Kareem Hunt actually, what he wields, right? That's his ability. So my thing is, I think it's a practical move. Why wouldn't you? It's a practical move to have a back that can get you yards. And, getting on Tage, we don't have to have a guy go hit his head on the goalpost and hit home run every time. I just need the guy to get first downs. That's it. Bottom line. And if our line blocks better than what we did last year, guess what? We will see more of those things, right? And if Pacheco, for whatever reason, if he gets hurt or something like that does happen, there's Kareem Hunt waiting. He's there. Could Kareem Hunt beat out a Pacheco? Sure. It's going to be great competition right there, running backs. So those guys push for each other, man. We know what it is. But let me be abundantly clear. Kareem Hunt deserves a position on this team from what he's been able to do in the past for us. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, and I think if I remember correctly from the KCSN guys, kind of what the same point Tasia had about efficiency, his yards per carry and the efficiency aspect of things. That's kind of where everyone is, that they all kind of fall in that same the talking point.
Yeah, but is that an indication more so on maybe what we didn't do up front, blocking?
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I get, we want to don certain guys. Oh, we got, okay, well, they got to show it. We got to look at the context of actually how this thing looks. And so if all the lanes weren't open like they should have been, the double teams going up to the next level wasn't as crisp as it should have been, then that's a problem. Guys not kicking out like they should, that's a problem. It ain't like Kareem Hunt forgot how to be a running back. That's not what it is. And like he was just running himself in the back alignment, that wasn't the problem either.
That's somebody else's problem. That's not his problem.
Yeah. So, as far as, okay, he's not a long ball hitter. Okay, we got it. But he gets you yards. Mm-hmm. That's what we want to do. We want to get first downs and move the chains. Yeah. He does that effectively. So,
yeah, and a lot of things too is like you talk about efficiency. I mean, last year he came off the couch and he was already instantly the best running back, right? He was getting. We talked about that the 20+ consecutive 20+ carry games hadn't happened since Larry Johnson. I think 5 it was. So I mean, they went to him a lot coming off the couch, which tells you how much they trusted him. But also, too, people want to knock his yards per carries. Again, he wasn't like in shape when we got him. He said it took him like 2 weeks to get in shape, and they right away they give him 20 carries. So like that's going against him. B, talk about the line situation. Guy was getting touched in the backfield right when getting toting the ball. So most running backs who aren't Kareem Hunt probably getting TFLs back there. He's at least getting a yard or two off getting contacted right away from touching the ball in the backfield. So was his yards per carry great? No. But let's kind of look at that a little bit more, because he's probably getting contacted behind the line from more than half these carries he's getting the ball, and maybe that's why his yards per carry is not the highest. But we're still getting positive yardage through that too, and it's just it's tough yards like you always talk about.
Tough yards, man. It's tough sledding right there. It's tough sledding. You getting penetration in the backfield, man. It's hard for any back. I don't care who it is. So Albert Brown says, I don't think running back 1 and 2 is going to matter. All the offseason and draft has told me Andy's going to be 70% or more passing plays. That's our offense. Hopefully we utilize those guys in the passing game too. But we need to be a little bit more balanced on the Brown. I think everybody agrees that we should. We should be running the football. They was daring us to run the ball in several games last year, and we just didn't do it. And, we stuck with what we needed to stick with. But, what Andy, he loves to do. But then you got a running back like Kareem Hunt. When we got down there, he will score points for us. Why? Because he's that guy, And you're right. If he gets hit in the backfield, he's still going to get yards. He's not going to go down on one hit. He's never been that guy. Never. So it's going to take a crew of guys to get Kareem Hunt down. So, hey, man, what was that? Preachers used to always say, man, shoot, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That's what you're trying to do, man. So.
Yeah, I think the bottom line here is whoever. I think we were kind of locked in on the same point. It's going to be a committee kind of thing. It's a hot hand approach that we've talked about before. But I think it does show you with the way things transpired at the end of the season last year when Pacheco wasn't it. They were like, you know what, Kareem, he's got it today. We're going to go with Kareem. Yeah. And I think we're going to see a lot of that, because it's not often where you have a coach who trusts two guys in the backfield, especially with Andy Reid, who doesn't run the ball a lot. But you have two guys now, Pacheco and him, who both have had 20-plus carry games with an Andy Reid offense. So it's like, you know what? He has two guys he can trust. So if Pacheco doesn't have it that day, okay, that's fine. We're going to ride 29. We're going to give him 20-plus carries today, if they are going to run the ball as much as we hope. But I feel like we have two guys in that backfield that Andy Reid trusts. So I think not only is Kareem Hunt cemented as being the short yardage guy, on some weeks he might be the 1A, and some weeks Pacheco might be the 1B.
That's right. That's right. No doubt about it. And guess what? He's earned that. He's earned it. So.
Yeah, I think you need to talk to Coach Reid, JD, get him to run the ball a little bit more. And then Sherry says we need Coach Reid to watch Dungeon every week.
Hey, he's like, man, this is a good little speech right there. We still throwing it.
Yeah. Well, we got this guy. We got this tiny guy, Brashard. He can. He's a running back, and he's also a receiver too. We're gonna motion him out there and just have him run. On the Brown, I agree. We should be no more than 60-40. I fear Andy wants to prove he's still an explosive passing offense. I see that too.
And we got the weapons on the Brown. We got the weapons. I think the way that obviously you have to delineate how you're going to utilize that 60-40 or 70-30, right? That becomes the challenge for us on Andy and those guys. If you want to get things established offensively, shoot, then your game plan means, okay, let's pass, let's hit them over the head. Let's run the football a little bit more when they don't think so, right? So, yeah, brother.
Yeah, and the thing is, I love when people rush to say, oh, Kareem Hunt's the one, he's not getting paid enough, he could be the cut candidate. Like the point I've made before, and I think we have Eli Mitchell on that too. Eli Mitchell's not getting paid a lot either. He's on a 1-year deal as well. So, as the same people were making the point that Kareem Hunt can be a cut candidate, you can definitely make that point about Eli Mitchell, who's getting paid about 1 year up to $3 million. So, there's not a lot there as well. So, it's again, like I mentioned before, it's like the Ronald Jones situation from a couple years ago. We brought him in, not on a high deal. Pacheco ends up coming in and being a guy like, okay, well, Ronald Jones, there you go. Here's the door. So it could very well be that situation as well. I think Kareem Hunt is a lock. I don't think anyone who's saying he's not a lock, it's just crazy to me. I don't really get it.
I don't know either. Then I question what they're basing it on. With the rule you have,
his efficiency on the ground last year, JD.
Yeah. Shoot. All right.
Well, it's funny too. The people just want to hone in on the yards per carry and whatever. He couldn't break long runs. Okay, well, just forget about everything else. Just talk about strictly what we were with this whole ESPN, the best short yardage back in the league last year, 15 of 18. Where these same people who were pissed off about not being able to convert first downs and having to have Noah Gray go under center or Blake Bell go under center because we couldn't get a normal first down. Well, when Kareem Hunt came in last year, he was getting the old-fashioned way, right up the gut.
Yeah, you had to utilize the old fullback dive, and you had to do none of those things, right? You had to do no tricking plays. Kareem Hunt's lining right here. He is running right here, B gap, or he's running to the outside. Stop him, okay? And they had a hard time doing it. They knew he was getting the football.
Yeah. So I'm excited. If you guys play fantasy, I say Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's not going to be on anyone's radar. Get him in one of your last rounds of your fantasy drafts. I definitely think he's going to have a big role in the offense. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.